Hi, friends. I just want to say hello to our district family and so glad that many of you have been on this prayer and fasting journey. We're all in this together. I had the opportunity to interview Gordon O'Coin, Norm McLaren, and Terry Grimes about the fasting and prayer journey that we've been on. And they have shared just some wonderful things of encouragement, some nuggets that come from many, many years of ministry and walking with God. And I think that you're going to enjoy this. Now, this went along so well that it ended up being about a half an hour long. So we've cut it up into a few different segments. And so you're going to receive the first segment today, and the second and third segments are going to come out over the next week or so. I encourage you to take some time to listen in to what these three men have to share and open your hearts and allow the Lord to speak to you through their experiences. And I think we'll all have something that we can take away from this. So enjoy the listen, open your hearts, and thanks for being on this journey. And if you still want to join in, it's not too late. We'd love to have you a part of this. And join us if you can during the calls that we have through the week. It's just been a great time of praying together, sharing together, and encouraging each other as we continue along. God bless you and have a wonderful weekend. I really appreciate the three of you joining me today. So we've got Gordon O'Coin, Norm McLaren, and Terry Grimes. And in our district, most people would know who Gordon is. Most would know Norm, and probably very few would know Terry because Terry's been joining us on the calls from Newfoundland. He's been joining us in this fasting time, and this is, I think, your third year you've joined us, isn't it, Terry?
Yes, it is. Yes, been
Right. Yeah. So it's been great to have you here. So I wanted to ask the three of you to join me today because I thought over the years, the three of you have probably seen many things and learned lots. And I just thought it would be wonderful to give an opportunity for you to share a few of your thoughts about prayer and fasting. And so I want to ask the first question, and that is simply why are you actively participating in these 40 days of transformation through prayer and fasting?
I guess the simple answer to that question is because I need it. I mean, I've been saved for 67 years, been in the ministry now 51 years, and still ministering. And you would think after all that time you'd get it right, but there's a desperate need for that closeness with God, and this is what prayer and fasting has been for me in the 3 years that I've spent on this Zoom. It's been an awesome time sharing and listening to what others have been hearing from the Lord. It's been very encouraging and very challenging. So I'm here because I need this.
Hmm, that's great. Okay. How about you, Gordon?
Well, this is my first time on this 40-day fast. However, fasting is not something new. I certainly could do a lot more of it, but I remember even going back as far as Bible college days that in my last year, Steve Johnson and I were having what we call centennial revival meetings in Norwood, Ontario. And the week before that, we were to fast and pray. And that was my first experience of fasting. And that week I did that. There was myself and I forget 4 or 5 others that were to join. After the fast was over with, we started talking about it. This I hope this is not bragging, but I was the only one that hadn't eaten anything during that week. But fasting is something that has been a part of my life. Very often, the first in January, some week in January, I would take a week off for fasting and prayer while looking for strategies and the vision for the church from the following year. So that is something that I've done, and I'm so glad that I made a decision to to join you this year. It was just when I saw it coming up, I just knew that was something that I should participate this year in, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to do that to enjoy the benefit. I'm only fasting 1 day a week and then fasting coffee. I am a diabetic, so I have to be a little careful of how I do that. But it's been a joy to do that and to draw closer to God. And the added benefit is the collaboration with others in the Zoom calls for this fasting. I have enjoyed reconnecting, and it's been a blessing for me so thus far.
That's great. That's great. Norm, how about you? What prompted you to join the 40 days of fasting and prayer?
Well, it wasn't because I wanted to. The reality is because I needed to.
Hmm.
And like Terry said, 51 years of ministry, which I'm in my 52nd year. Yes, it is.
Mhm.
We have seen a lot of stuff happen down through the years, which is good and some not so good.
Mhm.
And the biggest obstruction to my spiritual life is not from the outside, it's from the inside. Because we deal with ourselves, and if we're expected to deal with people out there in front of us as pastors and evangelists, whatever, then we had better be sensitive enough to their needs to love on them, even when they're going through stuff, and to realize that we're no different than they are. And so my response to really why participate, because I need transformation. And when you're several months away from being 75, you think you should have some kind of a handle on all this stuff. Well, just not true. You grow and you grow in a continuum of walking with God, and yeah, experience is a great thing, but it's a memory that I have to go pull something out of to enjoy that. But I want to be in the now, even at my age of 74. I want to be in the now, and to realize that God still gives a word in due season, and in our churches over the last numbers of years, I've seen a decline in that. And, it's great to have sermons, but it's a given of God. To have an idea about something is one thing, but to have a word from the Lord is another thing. And so we're calling this a period of transformation, which it is. And, but for me, it's vital and I need it. And if I want to stay in tune with what's going on, not just with the now generation, because, people look at you when you get to this age, say, well, you're from the other generation. Yeah, that's true. But I'm also in this generation, wanting to see God move in the now. I can't go back to yesterday's outpourings because that was for that time. Now we need another outpouring of the Holy Spirit to awaken us within the church in order for it to revive. If you have a revival, you can't keep it. You got to go and tell somebody. And the best people to go pour it on is unsaved people, because they'll bring the best of your understanding of Christ in the forefront, because you have to be able to answer them with a transformed heart and a transformed mind. And that's my purpose for really being involved here.
Oh, that's great. I find it so encouraging on these calls. I mean, there have been a number of people who've been a part of these calls, but I just want to say what the three of you are sharing now and what you shared over the days, I find so encouraging, because you've each walked, or I should say, run this race for many years. And here I find the three of you in retirement years, you are actively participating in this time of prayer and fasting. It's not like, well, it's somebody else's turn. Like, you want to be right there in the middle of it. I just find that really encouraging. And I pray to the Lord that my life will be exemplifying that too when I'm when I'm no longer in an official position of leadership.